Hey everyone, this month so far I've been having so much fun designing a t-shirt a day with Shirtober. And when I've posted these on social media, a lot of people have been asking or telling me that my designs are very creative and asking, how do I come up with these different designs? How do I come up with these phrases and stuff? So I'm going to show you how I do these, how I brainstorm. I'm going to give you 12 tips on how to brainstorm for print on demand. So if you're feeling stuck and don't know where to start and how to come up with creative ideas, hopefully this video will help you get better designs so that you can sell these designs during Q4 and beyond with print on demand. So let's get into the internet right now and I'll show you how to find or where to start when you brainstorm. So here we are on Etsy, and I think the first thing to do is to start with a topic, and the best way to find a topic is to do a search for it on the place that you're selling. Usually Etsy or Amazon, I'll show you how to do both, are the best places to find a topic that is popular. So you want to find a topic that people are actually want to buy, that you know that there's interest in it. You can pick topics randomly off the top of your head, and if you have a topic that you know a lot about, I would actually start there. But if you don't have a clue on where to start, I think a good place to start is to just do search. So tip number one is to look for topics with search. So I started here with typing in graphic t-shirt. So you're seeing some of the numbers here, and this is profit tree. Profit tree is something I talked about before. I'm going to show you how to use that. If you don't have profit tree, you're just not going to see these things. So you're not going to really know what's the best seller or how much it's sold. So this kind of helps you out. You can go in here to show filters on Etsy and type in Etsy's best and do star seller. One of the hacks that I learned from Hannah was when I did that interview, I'll put that video up here, she talked about profit tree and how you use it. She said to come up here and type in best seller instead of star seller. So that's one hack if you don't have it. But without profit tree, you're not going to see some of these numbers. You can see profit tree is crunching the numbers and it can tell you like this sold 46 times last month. This sold 764 times and so on. So you can kind of gauge with these numbers from profit tree which one is actually selling more or less. So come down here, kind of take a look. Of course, Halloween, because it's close, is going to be one of the top sellers. You see Halloween here, Halloween here. It's kind of a given that that's going to be popular now, so you probably should do that 2 months ago, gearing up. But some other things that are popular, cats, fruits, right? Monsters, again, cats. So you can kind of see and get a feel for what the topics are here. But again, this is really cool with the profit tree numbers up here. You can kind of see the revenue and all of that. And if I come over here to profit tree, if I click this, you can kind of see it in a nice table as well. So you can kind of gauge just by looking at the numbers instead of the designs, if you like looking at the numbers more. Hannah also talked about like for the lifetime, which is what I'm using, the $67 lifetime plan. You don't get conversion rate or visibility score, but you get all of these things, which is really helpful to let you know like this is really popular. This is popular but less popular, you know. So you can kind of see that. So I like having that. That's a great way to do it. So that's tip number two, is to use tools to help you in your search. So like profit tree, you can do that and see the table here, as well as if I click this out, as well as right here. And I believe if you click into it, let's say we like, oh, raccoons, that's doing well. They also have it in here, more data for this specific one. So pretty cool how it lays that all out. So that's Etsy. You can either do search, or if you want to use profit tree, you can use that as well with all the data. If you're on Amazon, one thing that I like to do, you can do the same thing again, graphic t-shirts. And I have something enabled here called DS Amazon Quick View. It's a free plugin that you can get on Google Chrome, and you can see these numbers pretty much tell you what's selling better or worse. So the lower the BSR, the bestseller rank BSR, the more it's selling. So you can kind of see cats, again, are really popular, right? Cats are always popular. People love buying that for gifts. You can see another cat here. NASA, I might stay away from that one. Space Jam, stay away from that. Year of the Rat, I guess that might be coming up. Bigfoot's always popular. There's another Bigfoot. These funny sayings and so on, right? So once you pick your topic, or once you have this, you can kind of help you pick your topic, and then you can narrow it down. So you can be like, okay, we know cats is a big one, so let's do cats or funny cat t-shirt, right? And then we can kind of get into some ideas. Now we know the topic, we can go down, right? So I'm going to get into that. So this is mainly for picking topics. First, search. Second, use apps like Profit Tree or DS Amazon Quick View to help you get that search refined by getting the data, or come up with topics on your own. But the third way is what I'm doing here on Detour Shirts. By the way, these are the ones that I'm doing so far in October. I put them on here so you can see. We're going to get to this at the end of the video. I'm going to show you how I use the tactics that I'm talking about with brainstorming on how I came up with these, and you're going to see how easy that was. But if you go to shop and downloads, you'll see what I'm talking about, the Shirtober here. So if you don't know about any topics to use, why not do it from a list here? I have a whole bunch of lists on my page. This is for Shirtober, but if you breeze through these and like, oh, it's November now, what am I going to do? You can come back in here, go to downloads, and I have all my topics from last year to Design with Detour. So there's a never-ending list. If you are a person that likes using lists, there you go. So first things first, finding a topic, lots of different ways to do that. Tips for that is using search, apps, lists, whatever you want. All right, so the next thing, after you got a topic, the next thing you can do, there's actually two things you can do. You can now look for phrases for that topic as you're searching, or you can go the graphic route. So you can go the phrase route, then find a graphic, or do a graphic, then add a phrase to it. I'm going to show you how to do both ways, but let's do the phrase one first. So let's come in here and let's take a look at some of these phrases. I'm in funny cat t-shirts on Amazon again. Easily distracted by cats and books. So write that down on the sheet of paper and switch out some of these words. Easily distracted by cats and coffee. Easily distracted by cats and, I don't know, video games, whatever, right? Now, if you can't think of anything, you can go to ChatGPT and ask it. Okay, so I wrote, I like this phrase, easily distracted by cats and books. You can write whatever phrase you find there. Switch out books for something else that would be popular and something most cat lovers would be interested in. Give me 20 ideas. Okay, so I already said cats and other things. Here's cats and coffee. That's what I said. Cats and snacks. Netflix. No, don't do Netflix. But naps and yarns and crafts and wine and music and sunshine, and yeah, all of these would be coffee mugs. That's interesting. Art. I said video games. Anime would be cool too. So in fact, if you go back to the list that I have, I'm gonna go back to this list that I have with Detour Shirts. Downloads. What did we say? Easily distracted by cats and gaming, coffee, skiing. No, that might not work. What else we got? Music, right? Football, fishing, soccer, beer, right? Wine was one of them, right? So having those lists actually can help you brainstorm with these. So tip number, what are we on? Tip number 4, see what's working as far as phrases go and switch it up. Then you can go create a graphic. So let's say we did cats and coffee. You can see here there's a cat and a book. Well, the graphic that you're going to do with easily distracted by cats and coffee, of course, write it in a different way than this one. Use different fonts and layout, but you would have a cat holding the coffee. So this is why we do the phrase first in this case, because once you have the phrase, the graphic is easy to come by. So that's tip number 1 for brainstorming, is find a funny saying and switch one of the words out or change it up a little bit. You could also use ChatGPT to totally come up with a different phrase. Let's say, I like this phrase, come up with a similar phrase for this same topic. So there you go. The next thing that I like to do is do puns. So let's look for something cat in here that would make a good pun. Well, this is already a good pun. Cat loaf. This is full of puns, right? White loaf, pumpernickel loaf. I guess that's not a pun. These are making pretend they're bread. Let's go back. Here we go. Instead of jaws, paws, right? So think of different cat puns. Now, if you can't think of cat puns, of course, use ChatGPT. Give me 20 cat puns. And boom. So puns are great because it's funny, and funny t-shirts sell. And when people take a little while and figure it out, like, oh, that's what that is, then it like makes people want to buy it and share it, right? So a really good pun can help out, and there you go. So once you have the topic, you can get the phrase by making a pun with the topic. So if the topic's cat, give me 20 cat puns. If the topic is, what did we have today? Bear or mom or unicorn, put that in. Give me 20 unicorn puns or whatever it is, right? So there you go. Now you have the phrase, and of course, if you have perfectly fine, then you would have a cat that is, you know, fine, that's okay. Or stay positive, maybe the cat's doing some positive mountain climber, you have a cat that's climbing the mountain. So you can see how the phrase actually helps you with the graphic. So this is the next tip for the phrase part of it, is find a phrase, a pun, or use puns to make a phrase, either with ChatGPT or on your own, for cat. So lots of cat puns out there: purr, meow, and things like that. Fur, catitude, and things. All right, one more is use rhyming words. So this is another way to get good phrases for any topic. Let me see if there's any rhyming words. Cats. Cat lady, you people, meow meow. Oh, I guess this is rhyming. You mess with the meow meow, you get this piao piao, right? So rhyming words. So you can, if you can't think of rhyming words, then of course go back here and give me 20 funny cat phrases that rhyme. Boom. Here we go. Paws and claws for applause, cat in the hat chilling like that, meow meow wow, and all of those. So there you go, pretty easy. You could also go look for rhyming words online, words that rhyme with cat, right? Things like that. So there you go, pretty easy. So that's if you're going to go the phrase route. So once you find your topic, let's say in this case cats, and you want to create different phrases, the different tips for that is see what's working and switch it out. Ask ChatGPT, you can help with that, or you think on your own. Think of puns and come up with phrases, or come up with rhyming phrases. And once you have these phrases, you will figure out the graphic that goes with the phrase, right? You don't want to you can try and do it all at once, but typically it's a lot easier to get the phrase first and then the graphic to match the phrase. All right, so the other way you can do it is start with the graphic first, then find a phrase for it. This one's a little harder to do, but some people think in graphics first instead of words. I know I do. I like to start with graphics first. This is why when you see me sharing on Instagram or any of the social medias, I do the A, B, C, D with my graphics, because I start there first, and I like to do creative that way. So the first way you can do graphics is you can go find one that's already there. So let's keep with our cat theme. I'm just going to type in cat. I'm here in Creative Fabrica, and look at all these cat graphics. That's a hilarious one, right? So I wouldn't just take this. I would take this graphic and then maybe change the words up, right? Here's graphic. Don't just use this copy and paste, right? You can use the graphic, but make sure you change the text out and stuff. So add some text to this graphic, or add some text to this graphic, and so on. So lots of cat stuff right here, especially for Halloween. So endless amount of there. You can go to places like Kiddo and Canva and Ideogram and Mystic. I'm just going to go Mystic here. They have animals and cat, and take a look at all these cats, right? So you can start there with, that's a really cool graphic, that's a cool graphic, and so on. So one tip is just find the graphic and add text to it. Like once you find the graphic, you can be like, what's a good, go back to ChatGPT or think on your own, but I know a lot of people like to put ChatGPT. You could even, with ChatGPT, let me do something here, tip. So let's say you like this one, I do, and it's kind of too late for Halloween, but I'm gonna do a screenshot of this right here. And then I'm gonna go back to ChatGPT. I can add here, and you can do this with Nano Banana or whatever AI that you're using. If you're using AI in Kindle, you can use that too. It's not just ChatGPT, but I'm showing you how to do it here. And add that to it. And then what funny text would match this for a t-shirt? Just as simple as that. And I'm gonna hit this. And so if you can't think of one, there you go. Look at that. Pretty easy, right? So once you have the graphic, you can find ways to add text to it too. So there's other ways. So graphic first or phrase first. In this case, graphic first. I'm going to show you some other ways to come up with good graphics. So if we're going back to the Amazon example, we could, let's take a look at some of these. So here is a cat eating ramen, but it's definitely in a specific style. So this is a Japanese kawaii anime style. Now another way to do this is, well, if we know cats eating ramen is very popular, but everybody's doing this style, you can switch it up and make it into a different style. So maybe we want a vintage illustration of a cat eating ramen, right? And yes, you probably can't draw that yourself, but if you have a specific style that's good for you, like I know how to draw this style, I may do my version of this in my style or something else in my style. So you could go to ChatGPT and or whatever AI and type it. I want a cat eating ramen in a vintage illustration style. You can do that on Kindle or whatever. So changing the style of a popular thing is a good way to get graphics. And of course you can add text to that once you're done. The next thing you can do to get a good graphic is to use this. I like using this phrase, have a blank doing blank. So what do I mean by that? Well, if we come to our list here, let's say we had cat as one of them. So have a cat doing drinking coffee, teaching, skiing. You can see all these things. Fishing, right? And the outdoors, skating, soccer, whatever. Drinking coffee was the one I did in my on Detour shirt. So you can see right here, have a cat drinking coffee, because the topic was coffee, or it could have been the other way around. In this case, if your topic is a thing, you're going to have that thing doing the action. If your topic is the action, in this case, coffee was the topic. I have a cat doing coffee. Now I could have done a raccoon with coffee. I could have done a cat doing something else or whatever. So keep that phrase in mind. I think that can really help you get a really good graphic. Instead of just putting, oh, the topic's cat, I'm just going to put cat. It's much more, has much more interest if the cat actually is doing something. Fishing, playing cards, doing something that you haven't seen on here. And one way to know what to do on here is to come back here and look at what people aren't doing. So if you think of something new that a cat isn't doing, and of course cat's super popular, so you probably have a cat doing everything. But if you can think of outside of the box of a cat doing something that hasn't been done but is still pretty popular, I think that can help you get some things. Like there's no cat playing chess. I don't know if chess is really popular, but I don't see cat playing chess, right? Something like that. So come up with some things that your topic is doing, or something is doing your topic, and that can really help you get some good graphics. Another way that's similar to this is to have a mashup of two things. Now we are doing the mashup of cat and coffee, but you can also mash up things that they're not doing anything. So let me go back to here. So I guess he's holding skis, but this chicken isn't really doing anything. He's just wearing sunglasses. This coffee is walking a croissant. This raccoon is holding a glass of wine. This girl is playing video games. So you can see a lot of these things. I like to mash up different things, but like tomato and pizza, they're two things that can be put together. Ghost, oh there, Death riding a unicorn. They're not actually, I guess he is riding a unicorn, but you can just mash those two things together. So it doesn't actually have to be doing something if you are putting the two together. One that I'm working on right now is a unicorn with a corn instead of a horn, right? Because unicorn, it's punny. It's two things mashing together, a corn and a unicorn, and so on. So think of those things, mash it up with something. Again, having this list, go back to the list again, is really convenient for that. So I could have a duck eating fruit. I could have a shark with a cat, right? Maybe a cat wearing a shark suit, or a shark wearing a cat suit. A dinosaur with a cowboy on it, or whatever. So you can mash two topics together and come up with a very original graphic. And again, once you have the graphic, you can find text to put with it, either by brainstorming using ChatGPT or whatever ways you want. All right, so two final tips that I want to talk about, and this is because of AI. This is a new thing that recently happened, and that is having templates that you can edit. So I'm here in ideogram under t-shirt. You can see they're pretty much done t-shirt design. Same thing with Kittle. If we come in here, when we go to merchandise and t-shirts, they're pretty much done t-shirts. Mystic, same thing. If we scroll down, like, they're done, right? And one thing you can do, here's again, Vexels has it. A lot of these, what you can do is you can come in here and actually remix it. So you can come in here, click, and there is, it's actually called remix. A lot of them are called remix. And what you would do is, instead of having this, because everybody has access to this, you would change, like we talked about, either the graphic or the phrase, right? Or both, really, you could do both. So instead of a purr, right, come up with another pun, or have a dog or whatever, change the graphic, or change this, use this, and have the phrase change. So those are two other ways that you can come up with unique ideas, is to start with a template that already has your topic and your graphic, or have ways to change that topic or graphic right in here. So I think that's one that's pretty recent now. It's everywhere and can really help you get started with something new by not having that blank page, right? I think a lot of people are scared with the blank page, and so having these templates now make it pretty easy to start with something and start brainstorming with a graphic already or a phrase already. All right, so there you go. Those are all the 12 tips I have for brainstorming. I'll put them all up here. I know I went through them pretty quickly. Use this to help you if you're ever stuck or if you need to create something. And you can see with these designs that I made with Shirtober, all of these actually use a lot of those brainstorming ideas that I talked about. So hopefully this helps you create designs that are really unique and stand out, and have people tell you, wow, how did you come up with these? It's because you're using all these brainstorming techniques that I shared with you. Hopefully this also helps you get lots of sales. Now, if you want to see other ways to design t-shirts, once you have those ideas, I'm going to put this right here. This is how to design a t-shirt in Canva. In fact, I'll put the whole Canva playlist so you can see how to do it. Once you have those ideas, you're going to have to find a way to create it and save it as a transparent PNG. So thanks again for watching, and as always, keep creating and keep learning. I'll see you on the next one.